first up, short one. Ring of Honor. I mentioned before in the podcast that they had to kind of like shut down.
Yes.
They did announce that they have a comeback coming in April 1st. Supercard of Honor is going to be happening. So when they did shut down, they did say it was going to be temporary. Nobody knew how temporary that was. It looks like it was a fairly short time. And April is WrestleMania season. That's usually when the Supercard of Honor takes place during WrestleMania season. So looking forward to see what they do there. Like I said, they have a great roster. Very curious to see what Ring of Honor is going to do going forward.
I'm surprised WWE is going to have a fucking WrestleMania with nobody wrestling.
WrestleMania is never going to stop. WrestleMania.
I know.
Oh, don't worry. I'm
fired
gonna
all the wrestlers.
I'm gonna be getting to that in a
Oh, did they fire
story.
some more?
I'm gonna be getting to that in an upcoming story.
Okay.
One thing that WWE has going for it right now is Corey Graves apparently has been cleared to wrestle. So Corey Graves,
I saw you tweet about that.
I did. Corey Graves, he's a commentator for WWE, currently on Monday Night Raw, I believe. Yeah, Monday Night Raw. And so this guy, it's funny because I don't want to say most, but like, you know what, most. A good chunk of the WWE audience just watches Monday Night Raw and they think that's all of wrestling in the world. So those people are just like, oh, here's this guy who's been doing commentary for like 7 years, called Corey Graves. Mm-hmm. Not knowing that back on the indies, he was a pretty good wrestler. In NXT, he was a really good wrestler. He was one half of the tag team champions in NXT. He had this issue with like concussions, really bad concussions. He transitioned to doing commentary and is like one of the best commentators there is. So now that he's been officially cleared to wrestle, is he going to actually go forward doing that? Or is he, to be perfectly honest, as good as he was as a wrestler, I think he's much better on commentary. Nice. I wouldn't mind seeing him do like a one-off here and there because he physically can now. I'm all for it if he does a spot. Maybe he'll be showing up in the upcoming Royal Rumble this at the end of this month. And that goes to my well, I'll get there in a little bit. So next,
I would
go for it.
If I was him, I would do like you said, just a one-offs. Because if he was prone to getting concussions,
yeah,
you don't want to be getting CTE.
Concussions
like,
not
and
fun.
If you're good at the commentary, just
yeah. It all depends on how he feels, because Bryan Danielson had the same issue. He was out for a couple years because of concussions, and now he's legit, like I talked about last week, doing 60-minute matches.
Yeah, that's fucking wild.
It's crazy, and granted, he still has a hard-hitting style, but he did alter the way he wrestles a bit. There are still moments where I see Bryan Danielson fight. I'm just like, ooh, don't take those risks, but you know what? The he's good. He knows what he's fucking doing. So I was like, that's him. That's his decision. But I want to talk about some WWE releases. WWE did release some wrestlers, and this one hurts.
I bet you that's going to be the WrestleMania show. It's going to be Vince McMahon out there with a mic and just firing people on the big stage.
He's going to be hiring the janitors and shit, just like, bring your mop, bring your mop.
The fucked up thing is Vince McMahon, the character, was always known for the "you're fired" catchphrase over the years, which was always like, oh, look, he's doing the thing. And now it's just like, he's really doing it. Like, yeah. This sucks. But the thing is, this time, everybody that got released was from NXT. More importantly, they were from Triple H's NXT. All of the Triple H guys, which sucks, because that was the best thing that WWE had going. So they got rid of Road Dogg, Jesse James, who was running the show. William Regal, who was the best GM in all of WWE and has been for many years. And ever since he was the GM of NXT, he became the best. Like, I love William Regal. Timothy Thatcher, who was a wrestler who transitioned to doing backstage stuff. He was an amazing wrestler. I mean, he still is. It just doesn't work for him. He didn't die. Danny Burch, same thing. He was a wrestler, transitioned to doing backstage work. He got released. There was a lot of others that also got released, but the big one is Samoa Joe, who was already released by WWE. He got released from Monday Night Raw. Then Triple H was just like, no, I'm going to save you because I'm running NXT and nothing's ever going to happen to you on NXT. And then they took NXT away from Triple H and then released Samoa Joe again. So this man got released twice.
Oh, my God.
One of
No
the greatest
luck.
wrestlers
Can't
ever
catch a break.
got released by WWE twice. So I don't know. If there's one place I want to see that man go, is I want to see this man go to fucking New Japan and just destroy everyone. Him versus Shingo? That's a dream match. Him versus Tomohiro Ishii? Samoa Joe versus the Stone Pitbull? Come on. That's a dream. But I don't
Just
know.
those two nicknames alone.
All those names really just.
Just Samoa Joe versus anyone. in
I
Japan.
really love the Stone Pitbull. I like that nickname.
Dude, they all have. There's the Switchblade,
Yeah.
Jay White,
Yeah.
the Rainmaker, Kazuchika Okada, the Dragon. You don't like the Dragon?
No, I like
I
the
love
Dragon.
the
Shingo Takagi. He's the Dragon.
Yeah. Still, I feel like
how
the
many
Stone Pitbull
people
is, like, up there.
can they fire? Like, what the heck is this guy doing?
Well, the thing is, so when AEW was coming up, like 3 years ago, 3.5 years ago, they were getting like all these top indie guys, which NXT was doing, which is like a sub thing within WWE. So Vince McMahon like panicked and was just like, I'm gonna hire everybody who's not working for me. So he started hiring all these people to keep them away from AEW, from Ring of Honor, from Impact, from New Japan. And now he's just like, you know what? I don't want them. I'm firing everybody. He had that many wrestlers that he fired everyone.
Damn.
Now,
Wow.
the funny thing is, so Royal Rumble's coming up at the end of this year, right? And I'm going to mention some of the names. Officially, in the Men's Royal Rumble now, we're going to have Johnny Knoxville from Jackass.
Wow.
Um,
Wow.
So, they're running out of wrestlers. That's the name.
yeah, no shit.
You're just gonna have celeb
Stop
guest
fucking
wrestlers.
firing all of them, and you won't have to run out of wrestlers.
So Knoxville is going to be there, and when it got officially announced on SmackDown, he quote unquote qualified by throwing Sami Zayn over the top rope. Sami Zayn, who I've mentioned on this podcast, is an amazing wrestler who I want to see in AEW, who just recently re-signed with WWE, has been resorted to getting thrown out of the ring by Johnny Knoxville. I don't want to see. Also, in the Royal Rumble this year, in the women's
Seems
Royal Rumble,
legit.
we got a couple big names. So I just wrote down the surprises. These are all former women's wrestlers that no longer wrestle, but because they have nobody left, they have to bring them back for the Royal Rumble. We have Summer Rae, Kelly, the Bellas, Nikki and the other one, Brie, Michelle McCool, great wrestler. A lot of people also know her as the wife of The Undertaker. Lita. You guys remember Lita?
Really?
Yeah.
Really? She's not a grandma by now?
Oh. Lita's in amazing shape. She was in the Royal Rumble like
Jesus.
2 years ago or 3 years ago.
Just because she's in amazing shape doesn't mean she's a grandma.
She's like
Yeah,
30.
that's a solid point. If Johnny Knoxville could be in the Royal Rumble, fucking Lita could be in the Royal Rumble. She could win the men's Royal Rumble for that matter. And the biggest deal out of all
You're not
this
wrong.
is Mickie James. Now, the reason why Mickie
Oh.
James... But you know
Yeah, I
that one?
remember this
You know that
chick.
one?
Yeah, wasn't she around when I used to watch wrestling?
I don't fucking know.
Wasn't she like enemies with like Trish Stratus?
She had a big feud with Trish. Well, at that time there was like three women wrestling. It was Trish, Lita, and Mickie James. They all hated each other.
Yeah,
It's
that's
not
true.
like
I mean,
now
Yeah,
where it's
but
like
I
they have
remember
all
Mickie
these-
James.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
so the reason why Mickie James is a big deal is that she's a current Impact champion for TNA. Well, no longer TNA. Impact.
Oh, she's still wrestling. Cool.
All these people. Well, that's not true. Actually, no. Out of everyone I mentioned, she's the only one that's still wrestling. The other ones, they all quit wrestling. They're not even wrestlers, and they're coming back for the Royal Rumble.
Yeah.
Knoxville's probably done more matches than some of them. Anyway, Mickie James is the current Impact Women's Champion. That's a huge deal because WWE doesn't do business with other companies. So for this one, it looks like they're going to. And also, Mickie James is one of the people that got released earlier this year. And she got released in horrible fashion. I talked about it on the podcast. Don't know if you guys remember. She got released, and then they gave her things. They sent it to her in a garbage bag, which was like the most disrespectful thing in the world. And she tweeted about it, and then the guy who sent it to her got fired. And now they're bringing her back. And so rumor has it, when Vince found out, like Vince was just like, they called her and asked her to be back. Didn't know that she was currently working at Impact because Vince doesn't know if there's any other wrestling companies in the world. And when he found out, he's like, it's fine. I don't care. Just whatever. So what I would love to see is her show up with the Impact title. Like, if she could bring a title from another company into WWE and present it, I feel like that'd be the coolest thing in the world. If they're going to allow that, I don't know. But it does look like WWE's open to working with other companies now, which is great. Once they broke down, well, they didn't break down, but now that they've opened the forbidden door, that'd be amazing to see WWE stepping through.
Yeah, well, I mean, they don't have any fucking wrestlers left to not be able to do that.
But still, just the fact that they were doing it is surprising because they never acted. They always acted like all these other companies don't exist. For them to willingly, and then they on SmackDown they even said the current Impact Women's Champion, Mickie James. So I'm putting that in the win column for WWE. The fact that they're opening up and working with other companies, granted, everything else they've been doing sucks, but there's that. Oh, also we're gonna finally get a feud between Brock Lesnar and Bobby Lashley. Never happened before. It's finally fucking happening.
That's interesting. I don't know. I saw a picture of Lesnar back in the ring with his Viking haircut.
With the hair, yeah. Yeah, he just became WWE champ. So, Lesnar and Lashley.
Okay.
That's all I got.
Lesnar and Lashley.